Help me. If you save me and get me out of here, I'll take you as my concubine. Think being a concubine is some kind of blessing? I'm not doing that. If you want to repay me, give me 100 taels of silver. I'm the heir to a marquis's household. How could I ever repay kindness with ingratitude? If you save me, I have to repay you. I'll take you in and I'll shelter you. You not understand plain words? What are you doing? Somebody's concubine in your next life. You did have money on you. Figures. The richer they are, the stingier they get. And you still wanted to take in a concubine for free? Get lost. Feel warm to the touch. Looks like it's worth a pretty good amount of silver. Might as well do one good deed all the way through. I'll bury you properly. Guess that's what happens when I'm too soft-hearted. You actually killed him? You brazen peasant. How dare you murder the heir of Yongchang Marquis Manor? What? If you didn't see it with your own eyes, why are you yelling? He had wounds all over his body, and there was even an arrow in his chest. Do you really think a weak little woman like me, who can't even kill a chicken, could have done that? This heir from Yongchang Marquis Manor had already lost too much blood. Without treatment in time, he was doomed anyway. I only did him a tiny favor and ended his suffering early. Every word you said makes sense. To be honest, miss, I am the young prince of Zhenan. If you're willing to save me, I will reward you generously. Other noblemen? And young prince of Zhenan definitely sounds higher status than the heir of Yongchang Marquis Manor. Compared to that, asking for just 100 taels before really was way too cheap. That doesn't fit a prince's noble status at all. Maybe I should start by asking for 1,000 taels. If that doesn't work, I can always bargain down. What exactly are you planning to reward me with? Majesty has no sons. I was summoned to the capital. Do you know what that means? No? How incredibly stupid. Fine. Once I rise to power, I'll teach you properly. If you're willing to save me, I can grant you the position of side consort. And when I inherit the throne, you'll be one of the palace ladies living in endless wealth and luxury, with supreme power in your hands. Then shut up. Keep your voice down. If you keep shouting like that, you'll draw wolves and tigers out here, and neither of us is getting away. I don't want to be your side consort. You're actually delusional enough to want to be my main wife? No. Your status is too low. Offering you a side consort position is already me doing you a favor. Normally, with your background, you wouldn't even qualify to enter my manor as a lowly concubine. You don't have to marry me. You just need to pay me 1,000 taels of silver. Too much? Fine. 800 works too. 700. Just nod or shake your head. 500. Can't go any lower than that. If you still won't agree, then you can just stay here. Okay, I'll move the grass away, but you have to promise to talk quietly. How many women would kill to get into my Zhenan Prince Manor, and you actually dared to refuse me? Once I return safely, I'll leave you with an intact corpse. Stop! You dare try to assassinate the future emperor? I will wipe out your entire clan! I'll sell you to the filthiest brothel so 1,000 men can trample you, and 10,000 can ride you! Another one who can't understand plain words. Good. One clean hit. At least he didn't suffer. Otherwise, I'd feel bad about it. Guess that's what happens when I'm too soft-hearted. This man who called himself the young prince of Zhenan had plenty of valuables on him. A jade pendant, a bead bracelet, a jade thumb ring. Any one of them could sell for a few hundred tiles. Getting too attached to money is never a good thing. In the end, it all still comes to me. The smell of blood can easily attract wild beasts. So I covered the blood on the ground with dirt and cleaned everything up. I dragged the two men, who died together, to an open area near water, planning to burn them first and bury them properly after. Deep mountains are full of wolves and tigers. Even if I buried them in a pit, wild beasts would probably dig them back up and eat them. Just thinking about that is too pitiful. Better to cremate them and let them rest in peace. I was just one weak woman, working all afternoon with nobody to help me. I was so tired my clothes were soaked with sweat, and I barely gathered enough firewood. Save me. Did I seriously walk into a whole nest of men today? The man was filthy all over, his face pale as death. The blood on his body had already dried into dark brown patches. I am the son of the Longwu Guard's great general. If you're willing to save me, I will give you 1,000 taels of gold, make you my legal wife, and swear to treat you well for the rest of my life. If I ever break that promise, may heaven strike me down. Well, that's interesting. If I become your legal wife, then what happens to your current wife? Life-saving favor means everything. She's the kind of woman who knows what's right. Definitely give up her place as the legal wife for you, and willingly become a concubine. I was just testing him to see if he had a wife. I didn't expect him to actually have one. Wife must come from nobility too, just like you. Would she really agree to that? If a woman gets married, her husband is her whole world. Whether she wants to or not, she'd have no choice. His daughter got cursed for 8 lifetimes to end up marrying a man like you. Do you know them? Heir of Yongcheng Marquis Manor and the young prince. We came into the mountains together to hunt. Got separated when assassins attacked, and I never thought those two would end up killed. As I return to the capital and report to His Majesty, he'll know how kind you were to collect their bodies. Yongcheng Marquis Manor and Prince Zhenan's Manor will definitely thank you. Majesty will reward you too. While I was dragging him around, his hairpiece had already fallen off. Clothes were torn up and he was covered in firewood. It was almost dark and visibility was bad. Even if someone got close, they still wouldn't see his face unless they moved the wood. He could recognize him with just one glance? Yeah, right. Nice try. Please save me. Once I inherit the general's manor, everyone in the household will honor you as the lady of the house, and you'll run the whole estate. Why is it that he's giving me silver and offering to make me his legal wife, and I still have to kill him? Think losing 1,000 taels of gold doesn't hurt? Heart hurt like someone punched a giant hole right through it. Compared to that pain, I was even more scared of taking the money and not living long enough to spend it. This guy clearly saw me kill the young prince. Only came crawling out because he really couldn't hang on anymore. If he got saved, crushing a nobody like me would be easy. Besides, doesn't the Longwu Guard Grand General only have daughters? When did he suddenly have a son? He's obviously a liar. Second I thought that, I smacked him again with a rock. He didn't have the fancy accessories the other guy had. He did have 2 silver ingots on him. Man, broke as hell and still claiming he's a general's son. Still, at least it soothed my irritated mood a little. Cash is way better than jewelry. No markings on it either. Need to take it to the black market. I could spend it right away. Jewelry, though, I could only keep hidden and admire in secret. Dragged his body onto the woodpile, too. 3 brothers can hit the road together, nice and neat. 3 brothers, all lined up nice and neat, went up in flames. Fire didn't burn out until dawn the next day. Stayed there the whole night, watching until the very last little flame. I was worried sparks might fly off, so I stayed ready to dump water on them. Nearby villagers live off these mountains. Couldn't let the place get ruined. Since the 3 of you knew each other, at least you'll have company on the road to the underworld. Don't worry, find you a nice burial spot with good feng shui. Next life, go be livestock. Place has great scenery and clear water. Rest in peace. Meeting me was the luckiest thing that ever happened to you. Anybody else would have never gone through all this trouble cleaning up after you. After all that work, I was exhausted and sleepy. Headed back to the little cabin I'd been staying in up in the mountains. Planned to rest first, then go gather herbs later. Halfway there, a hand suddenly shot out from the grass and grabbed my ankle. Scared the hell out of me. The hand was slim and pale, covered in cuts, but it had a surprisingly strong grip. Pulled the grass aside, and sure enough, it was a woman. Weird. Today I didn't just stumble into a den of men, I stumbled into a whole den of injured people. Wake up! Save me. Pulled a gold bracelet out from inside her clothes. Then she handed me a gold hairpin too. They were heavy, solid gold and had no identifying marks at all. Style was plain too. What can I say? I'm just too soft-hearted. I had no choice but to carry the woman back to the cabin. Cleaned and dressed her wounds. I applied the herbs I'd picked. After that, I boiled up some fever medicine and forced it down her throat. Done everything I could. Whether she lived or died was up to fate now. Will repay your great kindness, miss. Already paid me. No need to repay me again. These nobles are never right in the head. Who knows if their version of repayment is more scary than helpful. I'm Princess Yuanzhao, His Majesty's only legitimate daughter. You're my savior, so of course there will be a generous reward. As I return, I'll petition Father and ask him to grant you... Don't tell me she's about to make me an imperial consort? The Emperor may be insanely honorable, but I still don't want to be his concubine. I definitely don't want to go to the palace. The women in there are never allowed out. Basically a prison. I had no way to fight back against a noble, so I could only strike while she was sick and kill her.